everyone, and welcome to Cannesversations, unplugged and unfiltered, live from Miami, Florida at Possible. Today, I am with Brad Goose.
Nailed that.
Welcome. Tell us where you're from.
I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I'm with the Out Loud group. We're an influencer marketing agency.
Awesome. So, are you ready for some Cannesversations?
Let's do it.
All right. What percentage of your traffic do you think isn't human?
That's an interesting question. I think it's probably higher than I think because I think very, very low. So I want to say like less than 2%. So let's go with 7%.
7%. All right. All right. Well, we're going to compare that to everyone else's answers on this as well. So we'll see. Is high PTR still a win if you can't verify who or what generated the click?
I mean, it's just clearly no, right? If you don't know who's generating the click, then it could just be bot traffic. So that's not good. There's probably common ways that we can suss out most of it. And then I would say it just depends on the objectives of the brand in terms of if it's successful or not. But if you don't know where your click's coming from, that is problematic.
Yeah. And with AI, I feel like soon we won't know. Could be human, could be bots. Who knows?
Yeah, and you don't even need AI for that. I mean, there's countless bots independent of AI, which probably are a little bit easier to recognize.
Right.
So the problem's only going to get worse with AI.
How are you helping clients scale their spend without scaling the risk of fraud?
Yeah, so for us, we work generally with creators who have a proven track record of being able to deliver traffic to a brand's website and purchases. And so when we're working with creators who've been successful time and time again, they're bigger creators and similar creators who have that track record, that allows us to be very confident these creators are going to be successful for the brands at a very low risk because we've seen their audience and the track record of generating sales over time.
And what is something brands think they understand about performance but don't? I love that little chuckle.
I think one of the things that's really interesting is the distinction between brand voice and brand advocacy. So brands have spent so much time building up their approach to marketing, the colors, speak the keywords to say literally the pentameter with which you speak. And to be successful with creators, you literally have to throw that all out the window to be successful and recognize that these are brand advocates. So a brand does know how to communicate through brand voice, but communicating through brand advocacy is a totally different rubric. You need to throw out those weeks.
And where do you see the biggest gap between reported performance and reality?
I think brands are still trying to figure out measurable that thing. I think as great as MMMs can be, I think it's really hard from an influencer perspective, right? 'Cause you have walled gardens of YouTube and TikTok and Instagram who aren't able to give you as much data as you might like. And so the MMMs generally struggle with trying to figure out how you can allocate traffic and spend from influencer platforms. So that's something that we're still really working through for brands. I think they tend to have a lot of gray area. And so while like a top-down solution like an MM can be good, I find it still more successful today to do like a bottom-up analysis by looking at the specifics of each platform and figuring out what's the right multiplier associated with it. So it's really like still doing a bottom-up analysis to get to your reporting and analytics.
Yeah, I think reporting is something that we're trying to solve for all around in the industry. Not just in the influencer space, but I feel like accuracy, reporting, analytics is something that it's just a continuous, we're always going to be talking about that.
I agree. We're never going to be perfect. There was so many marketing channels that still exist today that are decoupled from the internet as well. And that's a good thing, right? So being able to understand how that translates and, I converted that to a Facebook ad, but Facebook might be the smallest of the impact, of course. So these are classic marketing challenges.
They really are. But, I feel that there's so many tools out there now and so many ways for us to figure out a better way to do what we need to do or to do it the way that it would come off as being genuine for your brand. Right. So sometimes it might just take a little extra work. Like some of the concepts that we talk about, it seems so simple. But in actuality, when there's so many other variables around it, it's not as simple as see.
Right. Right. And so oftentimes, like, you just need to do a sanity check
Yeah.
in terms of what's actually happening. And one of the things that I find is underutilized by brand partners is really dialing your post-acquisition survey to really making it as easy as possible to be able to have your consumers identify, right? Like, if I'm a consumer, I might not know the difference between a YouTube and an influencer, for instance. But what can we do then to have the second layer be really easy, where I type in JO and Joe Rogan Experience pops up, right? And so once I've selected one of those media. So I think optimizing the post-acquisition survey is still a massive unlock for a lot of brands, as simple as that may sound.
Nice. And where do you see clients optimizing towards wrong things?
I think it's really starts with the beginning. Like, what are your objectives and your goals? I mean, we still too often see brands that come to us and say, hey, we want to run a TikTok campaign. So, okay, great. Why? Well, because our board said we should be on TikTok. It's like, okay, well, we can run a TikTok campaign, but we really need to optimize, like, understand what are your business objectives as quantifiable as possible, and then hold all your marketing campaigns accountable to those and align on how you're going to measure each of those pieces up front. Again, it's doing the simple things really, really well is where I feel like there's still misalignment over for setting up campaigns.
Yeah, I kind of feel you there, which is a really interesting concept in itself. But
So I think like as part
how do you think that that's going to go moving forward?
I don't know. I'd love to be able to say that I think it's going to get better here, but I think as we have more tools, more analytics, I think it's so easy to get caught up in like the bits and the bytes and the like what happens afterwards that you can lose sight of what your clear objectives are up front. So I'm actually a little bit of a bear in the near term in terms of that getting fixed, but I think in the midterm, from an influencer perspective, I think the big platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Meta, are going to continue to share more data as influencer becomes just advertising and marketing. And so I think that's going to enable brands to really optimize for the specific objectives of their campaigns, and that part is going to get clearer over time. But I think there's going to be a period of place.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, we'll figure it out. Ready for some rapid fire?
Hit me.
Overrated or underrated? AI in marketing.
Overrated.
Safe bet or risky bet? AI agents in making purchases.
As a consumer, also as the safe bet.
Okay. One thing that matters more than people think.
Just, do people really trust what you're saying to them? I you so easily get caught up in saying the perfect thing and the right thing. But you just have to be trusted and be yourself. So I think trust.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this episode of Cannesversations in this beautiful Miami penthouse. Thank you. Until next time, guys. Bye.